all, this week we are going to concentrate only on calculators, but the subject is very important because it applies to a lot of other subjects. And for example, if you look at here, we all see calculator. We are going to learn about mortgages, loans, house affordability, rent, and all of this. I want you to also know that if I click here, there are more calculators here. There are about 2, 3, 4. We want to know what they are, and the calculations are very easy. Our goal is to make sure you understand this. And here, for example, is a loan calculator. To find it, to see what we have to do, I click on I click on calculator. And here you go, calculator.net. Then I click on financial calculator. I see rent is located right in here, loan. I click there. And if you look at here, according to what you see here is that I need $100,000 of loan. I can pay it in 10 years. And the bank is telling me that, excuse me, they are charging me 6% interest rates. And I want to calculate it in monthly. And then I am paying it every month, and I will click calculate. What I want you to do, I want you to change this number when you are doing yours. I am just doing it, showing you this default $100,000. Think about yourself as you are, let's hope not, you are in financial trouble. You want to borrow money from the bank. You cannot pay, something. Therefore, you want $10,000 or $8,000. You want to borrow, pay off your credit card or something. For now, the way I think is that I want to start my own business, and I have a business. I want to go to the bank and say, give me $100,000. I give you back in 10 years. The bank tells me the interest rates are 6%, and it's going to compound monthly. We will talk about it. And then if I click calculate, then what I will see is that my monthly payment is every month is $1,100, $10.21, because it is 10 years, therefore you multiply, if you multiply 10 by 12 months, that is 120 payments, which means 120 payments of 1,110 will come to total of 133,000. But let's not forget, I am only borrowing 100,000. Therefore, why am I paying 133,000? The difference is the interest that I am paying. And this chart shows you out of this 133,000 that I am paying, what portion of it, you see 75% of it goes, for the principal that pays off that 100,000. This 25%, which is around this one, is the interest I am paying. And I can view my amortization table, and deferred loan payment, we will, that is something we will talk about, that a lump sum due to maturity. This is another case, we will talk about it. It is more like the bond that we will talk about it, which means that the bank is going to give me 100,000. I am going to give some money to the bank, but the bank is going to give me $100,000 at the end of 10 years. The question, would be, this is, if I click here, then it will say the bank was telling me that if I give them, for example, $555,000, this is the reverse of what we were talking. That means I'm giving the bank $555,000, and after 10 years, the bank is going to give me 100,000. That is a kind of loan on maturity. When do we talk about this concept is that imagine you have a child that the child wants to go to a school 10 years from now, and you have $55,000 your uncle gave you. Now you want to make sure after 10 years you have $100,000, suppose, to give to your child for his or her, university, goes to tuition and everything. Therefore, you put your 55,000, you go to the bank and say, okay, if I put my $55,000 and I need, to have in 10 years, I want to have $100,000. The bank would most likely say, we give you 6% interest. If that happens, then what happens is that your $55,000 will turn to $100,000 and you can pay the tuition. You are sure that after 10 years, you have the, money for your son or your daughter to pay for the, and then if I click here, just this was the concept of bond. Do you see? But the concept of bond is like this. That means that you give some money to federal government. Imagine that Donald Trump is short us in money. It comes and tells you, could you give us, that's a bond, could you give us $55,000 today? After 10 years, we give your money back. Therefore, you would say, okay, you give this money to Donald Trump, and Donald Trump is going to give you 6% interest rate, and after 10 years, it gives you 100,000. Why the federal government or a state government? Why do they need money? Because they have expenses. They need money for military, to pay for, embassies, for everything. Therefore, that is the concept of bond. This bond concept also is used by the corporations. Let's not forget. Imagine that Microsoft needs some money, Apple needs some money. They might go to you that you have some money in the bank. They say, give us $55,000 and, we give you $100,000 and, in, 10 years. It might be a good deal for you. You might say, why should I put my $55,000 in the bank that they give me 2%? I am going to give it to Microsoft that is going to give me 6%. It's a solid company. Therefore, that's where the concept of bond comes in. But for now, for this assignment, you don't need to be worried about this bond concept. For now, you concentrate on this one, which is the money that you need for what is that called, to borrow. Therefore, in your case, you will go and change this number to 10,000, and then you copy this one from here. And maybe the amortization table would be good to also put there, and put the first 5 ones there. We copy, look at here, loan calculator, I copy from here. I bring it here and bring it to the 5th. That way I don't, bring a lot of information to Brightspace. I bring it here and I go to loan calculator. And I paste it there. I click here, loan calculator, and here I paste it here, and I put loan calculator. And then if I scroll down here, I don't like the fact that this screen is a little bit small. I will make it a kind of larger. Do you see? That way I can type. What I want you to type is that if I click submit, I have a feeling that this $100,000 won't show when I click submit. It will disappear. Therefore, before I click post here, I come here and write the story of what is happening here. This screen from here, this part will disappear. Therefore, where it says that loan, amount, I will click enter, and this is, I need to pay off my credit card. I am borrowing. How much? Put the 100. It is 100. Suppose in your case it will be 5,000. But for now, for my case, it's 100,000. I am borrowing $100,000 from the bank. It shows by typing it. It shows that you understood what you are trying to do. Then you come here and explain what this line is, long term. And as I said, if I click submit, it will disappear. I am borrowing for, 10 years. In your case, might be 5 years. Use a different number. My interest rate here, annual interest rate, the annual interest that the bank is charging me is 6%. Yours, you might change it to something else. And it is compounding annually, okay? Oops. And then pay every month you are paying results. I think now this won't disappear when you click submit. Therefore, but see, anything that has box here, do you see there is a box? When I click submit, these boxes will all disappear. But this part, don't disappear. Then I come here, and here there is not any square, any box. Therefore, this number is not disappearing. You have to explain what this number is. This number is what? This is my payment, monthly payment. Total payment, that means this is the total I am paying to the bank. This is the total I am paying to the bank. That's after 10 years, that's how much I have paid to the bank. The total interest that I have paid, this is the total interest that you are paying. That means you borrowed 100,000 and you paid 133,000. Okay, you come here, and then as you see, if I ask you what this number is here, the meaning of this number is after 5 months. After 5 months, not 5 years, because these are monthly. After 5 months, if you want to pay off your loan, this is what you have to pay to the bank. Therefore, I will write that. That's an important also concept. Here I can put here in the amortization table, if I have to pay off the loan after 5 months, I have to pay the bank how much? Oops, I had to put this number. Sorry, I thought that was the I have to pay. This is the one that I have to pay. If I have to pay amortization, I have to pay this much. Therefore that copied this table twice. I'll go and I think I will delete part of it because I copied it twice, and that's okay. And now I am going to post it as my assignment. It shows that I clearly understood why I am borrowing it, how much I am borrowing it, how much interest I am paying. Therefore, this is a loan calculator. We will use this calculator for, everything. You get 10 points for every, calculator that you put. And I click, I will post it on the discussion board.